Dearness Johnson signs a 1-year deal to stay with the Browns. It was worth up to $2 million, I think. 2.4 million. Are we surprised that there wasn't anything else out there? I guess he actually fired his agent because he was looking for a bigger payday from somebody, and it never came. And he was still sitting there, so he signed with the Browns for another 1-year deal.
Well, how'd that work though? Because we tendered him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we could have matched any offer,
right?
But
nothing came in.
Nothing came in.
I think it just shows you the value of running back in the league, which goes back to our keep cut trade last week, where some of those situations it sucks, but the running back is the least valuable position in a lot of those scenarios.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised though. I mean, I know it's been limited action throughout his career, but every time he's played significant minutes in a game, he's produced.
Oh yeah.
I thought for sure he'd get, I'm not talking crazy money, but a couple year deal, like low, maybe like a $6 million 3-year deal or something, $2 million a year. So I was kind of surprised. I was actually so shocked though that like whenever he texted it, I thought he was already still on our team. Like I had completely even forgotten about him. So maybe all these other teams just forgot about him too. So then that brought me to the question a lot of people have been talking about on our YouTube comments and on TikTok is what running back isn't going to make the team this year? Because we carried 5 last year. One, do you guys still think we carry 5 this year? And we have Chubb, Hunt, Felton, rookie Jerome Ford, fullback Johnny Stanton, and then we still have John Kelly on the roster this year. John Kelly actually came in and was running back 2 the week that Dearness started for the Broncos. So who somebody's probably going to get cut. Who do you guys think it is?
Good.
All right, man. So I think there's some obvious ones here. I think you have Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb's not going anywhere. Kareem Hunt, you kind of hear him getting talked about with like trade discussions, like what we could possibly get for Kareem Hunt, maybe like a 3rd or 4th. They got Johnson now. They drafted Jerome Ford. Felton is only in his 2nd year, so I feel like we should give him the opportunity to see what happens developmentally, what he does. But so I was looking at it and I'm like, Kareem Hunt's kind of like that X factor. He's like, he can burn you as a running back. He can catch, balls out of the back. So for me, you draft Jerome Ford, who's nice. I mean, he is a shifty running back. His little left to right juke, it's so explosive. He just kind of just leaves guys hanging off of him and he's just gone. So I really thought about this. It came down to what's the trade value for Kareem Hunt? What's the trade value for Dearness Johnson? And I thought about it, and at the end of the day, I think, obviously Johnson's 26, Hunt's 27. There's not a big age difference. You're going to get probably a little bit more in the, for draft picks for Hunt. But I think even with them just signing him, if there's an injury, I think Dearness Johnson is the one that gets moved out as far as a trade. I think Jerome Ford, as much as you don't want to throw a rookie into that situation, I think he could step into that position. And then a lot of people are saying Demetric Felton's getting cut. For me, he's Kareem Hunt next year. He can be that guy. He can catch balls out of the backfield. So I could see Dearness Johnson getting traded out. I don't think we're going to get a lot for him. Maybe a 6th, a 7th, maybe just get a little of that draft capital back. I think Felton stays. Ford is obviously going to be on. I think we keep Hunt for this last year, and then he makes not big money, but he goes somewhere. And then I think Johnny Stanton is he's always been kind of a practice squad guy. He comes up, he comes down, he comes up. Weird thing with him, though, is he played tight end last year in preseason. I'm not saying that they're going to do this. I think they go get a veteran. But I think it's interesting I don't even know the guy's name, basketball player guy. We should really look his name up and not call him the basketball guy. But let's say that doesn't work out and maybe you don't get an Ebron or a Kyle Rudolph. Could we use him as a 3rd maybe and a tough spot if there's injuries?
Was it Marcus Santos Silva?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There we go. See, we're good.
So that's kind of where I'm at. Chubb stays. I think Hunt makes it through the season, goes somewhere else next year. I think if there's an injury, Johnson gets traded, Jerome Ford steps in, Felton steps into Kareem Hunt's role next year.
Yeah, I definitely think Chubb and Hunt are here this year for sure. I think the Browns are going all in on this year. I think they think Watson's going to play, if not all, a significant portion of this season. I mean, they're throwing around a lot of money this year. You'd think if they had some kind of inclination otherwise, that wouldn't be the case.
No, I was talking to somebody today, and I said, if Deshaun Watson gets suspended for the whole year, which I think is ludicrous. These people talking about that right now. But if that were to happen, then I think you see Kareem Hunt probably get moved pretty quickly, because why keep him on 1 year when you know you can get draft capital for him?
What do you think you'd get for Kareem Hunt?
What do I think? Probably what Justin said, maybe a fourth, third,
fourth.
maybe at best.
Yeah.
Depends on what team has guys go down in camp and really needs a running back.
He can be a number one. We've seen him in the
absolutely.
number one, in that spot.
So I think,
But that's, like I said, that's only if that crazy situation happens, which, like you said, I don't think is going to happen.
I think John Kelly will probably get practice squatted again.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Deshaun Watson plays this whole year or a significant part of it. I don't know if we keep a fullback this year.
I don't think so either.
Because we heard a lot about when Stefanski came in about how much he loved the fullback, and we used him a decent amount. We used Andy Janovich a decent amount Stefanski's first year, but last year we didn't use the fullback that much. And I feel like you'll see it even less with Deshaun, because we're going to be way more 3 wide receiver sets and Njoku out there with Chubb or Hunt in the backfield. So I don't know if we keep Stanton. I do think if there's one to move, it would be Dearness Johnson. But even though we just signed him, I just don't know. There's going to have to be a decent amount of significant injuries to running backs for there to be any kind of market for him.
I don't have a whole lot to add to that, but I actually think we're going to keep Dearness Johnson because we're probably going to anticipate Hunt not being here next year. This year is probably going to be here the whole year, like you said. We're going all in, so we're going to keep Hunt. But I'm not sure he's going to be back the following year, so I think we want to keep Dearness.
To be the number 2 next year?
Yes.
What do you think? We're going to test your knowledge here. If we keep Dearness, do you think then why do you think we drafted Ford? To be the 3rd string, or did we draft him to be the 2nd string?
Possibly a speculative pick. I mean, he might not pan out.
This is true. I mean, the draft's a crapshoot. And if you can keep Dearness, I guess we all assumed Dearness wouldn't be back because there'd be a hot market for him. But if there's not, why wouldn't you keep him?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's sort of like, Hollywood Higgins, he had like a decent year and then tested free agency and there was really no market, so he came back.
Yeah, so everybody's assuming Dearness and Hunt are gone next year. I would be shocked if Kareem Hunt is back next year. And I think he's really important and he's very good, but you just can't keep – I mean, you can't keep all these people together forever.
The only way Hunt's back next year is if he somehow is like very agreeable to a team-friendly deal to continue in his role because he loves playing with Nick Chubb.
Which, in 100% honesty, I think that could happen because he likes being – one, we gave him his shot.
Yep.
We gave him his second shot. He's an Ohio kid. Mm-hmm. And so he loves being in Cleveland. And then him and Nick Chubb, they're kind of like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde or whatever with each other.
Yeah.
Like Nick Chubb never says anything, and Kareem Hunt is very flamboyant and, kind of like a hoorah guy. But they just – I guess they're like best friends.
Well, and you think about like a duo like that at the running back position especially, they can like increase the longevity of each other's career.
Oh, for sure.
Because neither one of them has to take a full workload all the time. So, I mean, they could maybe play 2 or 3 extra years that they might not have otherwise.
They're so complementary together. It's crazy.
I only see him getting better as well.
I think the run game this year is going to be out of this world.
I do too.
It's going to be out of this world. I will say, a lot of people think Felton's the odd guy out because they're saying he's not a traditional running back. Well, one, we haven't really seen us try to do that yet. Will we? I don't know. He had a chance to be the number 2 back last year in that Denver game, and we brought John Kelly off the practice squad to do it. So maybe the Browns don't see him that way either. But we're not very deep at receiver.
Right. And I think that's where he's going to make up, his playing time.
I'm looking at this wide receiver depth chart, and to be honest, guys, like we got a Cooper, Schwartz, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Jakeem Grant, David Bell, and Jamarcus Bradley. I mean, Jakeem Grant is not like a career – you don't want to be depending on him to be a wide receiver.
Right.
Jamarcus Bradley has shown flashes, but again –
but I don't want to bank this year on flashes.
Exactly. And then we got Michael Woods, Javon Wims, Mike Hardley, and Travell Harris. The only reason I've heard of Michael Woods is because we just drafted him.
Yeah.
And he's definitely seen as like a project guy. Mm-hmm. He's not going to be ready most likely. So I think if you can throw Felton in there as a receiver, that would be – I mean, we're not deep there. One of these guys goes down, we're kind of in trouble.
Yeah, I would honestly be shocked if Felton didn't make the team.
Yes, we haven't seen Andrew Berry cut a draft like one of his draft picks yet. I would be shocked to see us give up on him after one season.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening at all.
Especially when he did show burst last year.
Yeah, get the guy the ball.
That was the problem with a lot of our players last year. Get him the ball. Yeah, let him do something.
You know, in Njoku, he showed flashes, but he never got the ball. Well, Felton showed not as many flashes as Njoku, but there were still times, especially in the preseason, it seemed like every time he touched the ball, like, holy crap, you might take it to the house this time.
Yeah.
So,
and that touchdown against the Texans was awesome.
Where he's just dragging whoever was hanging on him.
So I think so. I'm keeping Chubb, Hunt, Felton, and Ford. And then I think Stanton gets cut, and I think John Kelly goes to the practice squad.
What about Dearness Johnson? You didn't mention him. See?
So we kept – now it says we kept 5 last year, but I'm pretty sure like John Kelly was on the practice squad most of the time. How many do you think are do you think Dearness Johnson's active every week?
I could honestly see the season starting out with Jerome Ford practice squad.
You got to be careful on the practice squad because
somebody can come sign him. Yeah.
Now you could just have them – can you just have them not active?
I think so.
Just
without being on the practice squad?
Like a healthy scratch?
Yeah.
That still takes a roster spot, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
So
absolutely.
So might as well.
But I just don't see like Ford's not getting cut this year. They wouldn't have drafted him. You know, and I don't think Felton. This is tough. The resigning of Dearness Johnson is a little surprising to me.
I think the 4. I think it would be Chubb, Hunt, Ford, and Johnson. And I think Felton's almost like your hybrid guy.
And they're just kind of considering him.
You could list him as a running back if you want to, but you might as well count him as the wide receiver depth chart.
Okay.
That's what I would.
That makes more sense. Think. And then Stanton cut John Kelly practice squad.
I would agree with that.
Let us know what you guys think. That's the way we kind of see it shaking down. Kind of an embarrassment of riches at the running back position for the Browns.
And you think about some teams like Atlanta. Like last year they had like nobody besides Patterson, but he was playing receiver too. And then they got
lucky with Patterson. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he's 30 years old. No running back breaks out at 30.